Hey Chanakyans of grade 2, welcome to the video session. In this video, we are going to learn social science, chapter 8, and this chapter is about early humans. First, let's recall the previous lesson. So, what was your previous lesson? It is about transportation, isn't it? Yes, you learnt means of transport in your previous lesson. And under the means of transportation, you learnt about traveling near and far and different means of transport. And you learned that some place will be nearer and some place will be far. For nearer places, you can go by walk, and for places, you'll be having more option to travel. And according to that, you learnt about different means of transport, isn't it? Yes, there are three main transports. They are land transport, water transport, and air transport, isn't it? Yes. Land transport means the vehicle which moves on land. For example, bus, car, truck, train, etc. And if you take land transport, in this you can see two type of transport. They are roadways and trackway, isn't it? Yes. And if you take water transport, which means a vehicle which moves on water, isn't it? For example, ship, boat, yacht, etc. And in air transport, you can see the vehicle which moves on air, which moves in the air. For example, aeroplane, helicopter, etc. Isn't it? Yes. And have you ever traveled in any of these means of transportation? Yes, definitely you would be travel in that, isn't it? Okay. And let's move on to today's topic, that is about life of early humans. First, let's see what are the topics we are going to discover in this lesson. The first one is early humans living place, early humans eating habit, and cloth of early humans. Okay, shall we move on to the lesson? Yeah, life of early human, that is your chapter 8. And see here, we live a comfortable life today, isn't it? We have a proper shelter, transport, clothes, food, and many things that make our life easy. So the life what we are living is very easy when we compare to the life of early humans. And if you say they lived a difficult life, what it would be? The life of early humans who lived many years ago was very difficult, and they lived a different difficult life. Okay, yes. So, one by one, where they lived, what they eat, what they wear, these all things are going to be discussed in this lesson. Okay, next. Next, let's see, where did they live? Do they have proper shelter? No, early humans did not have a proper shelter. They lived under the open sky, but this was not safe. Just imagine, children, without home, if we stay outside, how it would be? It will not be safe, isn't it? Yes. So, after that, they started living in a caves. They started living in a cave to keep themselves safe from rain, heat, cold, and wild animals. Okay, early humans lived together in big groups to keep safe from wild animals. So if we are alone, easily the animal can attack us, isn't it? Yes. If we are group, they cannot do anything. And they moved in groups from place to place. They moved in group from place to place. They were called nomads because they did not stay in one place for long time. Okay, fine. Next, let's see what did they eat. See here, in the early humans did not know how to grow food. The early human did not know how to grow food. See how it would be, no? Yes. They doesn't know how to cook. They doesn't know how to grow the food crops. And they moved from place to place in search of food. To search the food, they will keep moving. And they gathered roots and fruits from the trees and hunted wild animals for food. See, children, the word gathered is new for you, isn't it? Yes, which means to collect. They collected roots and fruits from the trees and they hunted wild animal for food. And even during those days, they haven't find the fire, so they have the habit of eating it in raw. Okay, yes, hence early human were also known as hunter gatherers. Hunter gatherers. See, in this image you can see the early human is eating the flesh of other animal in raw condition, isn't it? Yes. Next, let's see what did they wear. Do you have any idea about it, what they might have wear? Yes, the early humans did not have proper clothes. They covered their bodies with leaves of trees and skins of dead animals. See, in the first picture, a boy is wearing, he is covering his body with leaf, isn't it? Likewise, in the next image, this boy is wearing the skin of dead animals, isn't it? And the animal skin kept them warm in the cold weather. So the animal skin will keep them warm in the cold weather. Even nowadays, we are wearing leather jackets, isn't it? Yes, leather jackets are made by some leather jackets are made by animal skins. Okay, yes. Much later, much later, what happened? The early man discovered fire and learned to grow their own food. So later on, what happened? They learned to grow their own food and they discovered fire. Okay? Yes, they started settling down in one place and built huts for themselves. And built huts for themselves. See, in the first picture, he is having fire in his hand, isn't it? Yes. And the other picture, see backside of the little ones, you can see huts. So this is what the early humans hut. And see, in the other picture, he discovered fire and he started cooking food and eating. Is it clear, children? Yes. Okay, children, next let's recapitulate the lesson. First, we learnt about where did they live? Who? The early human. See, how was the life of early human you learned? The life of early humans who lived many years ago was very different. They lived a very different lifestyle. They live a difficult life. The life was very difficult and they doesn't have a proper shelter. They doesn't have proper shelter, and they lived under the open sky. Where did they live? They lived under the open sky. So just imagine, if there is no house, there is no proper shelter, if you are living outside or outside the house, how it would be? It will be unsafe, isn't it? Yes, it will not be safe for us. Some other animals can come and hunt us, or insects may bite us, isn't it? Yes. So later on, they started living in caves to keep themselves safe from such wild animals and rain, heat, cold. Okay, and the early humans lived together in big group to keep safe from wild animals. To make to keep themselves safe, they lived together. They lived together. Early humans lived together in big groups, isn't it? Yes, and they moved in groups from one place to another, and they were called nomads because they did not stay in one place for longer time. And just tell me what they eat. What they eat? They did not know how to grow food, isn't it? Yes, they did not know how to grow food, and they moved from place to place in search of food. So finally what happened? They gathered roots and fruits of tree, and they hunted wild animals. So they hunted, since they hunted wild animals, even they were also known as hunter gatherers. Okay, and the last one, what did they wear? See, the early men did not have proper clothes. The early human did not have proper clothes, and they covered themselves with leaves and dead animal skins. Okay, later on, what are the things they discovered? They discovered fire, and they started growing their own food, and they started settling in one place. See, if they are growing crop in one place, they cannot move from there, isn't it? Yes, so that they started living in one place, and they make the hunt for their shelter. Is it clear, children? Yes. So in this lesson, the new word which you learnt is gathered, which means to collect. Which means what? To collect. Yes. Yes, children, just imagine what life skill you learned from this lesson. What did you learn? See, later on, early humans learned to make fire, isn't it? Yes. So they also learned to cook food and eat together. They also learned to cook food and eat. In the early stage, also, they were living together in group, isn't it? Why? Because if we are single, even the wild element can come and attack us. So through that, what you can understand? Spending time with each other helps in developing our social and language skill. Okay, so once in a week or every day, if you sit together with your family and if you spend your time, it will be more valuable. Okay, yes. Okay, children, I hope you understood the lesson. And if you didn't understand, you just rewatch it. Okay, yes. The book bags are given. Please try to complete. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.